marriage is not for the look. It is not for Instagram. It's not to say I have somebody and you don't. But life brings a lot of ups and downs. And someone shared with me, I asked, like, how is it being married? And they said that this is the best roller coaster I've ever been on. Welcome back to your favorite hangout spot on Wednesday mornings. You are tuned into another episode of Kreate with Kendra, a place where you can be inspired, challenged, and changed. Now, that's a good package deal, okay? I'm just saying. So a few of you all know that I got married a few weeks ago, and I am super excited to share with you all that story. And before we get into the wedding day shenanigans and storytelling, I'm super excited. I want to give a shout out. I usually do Black businesses every week, but today I'm going to shout out and highlight my bridal party, my mother, my aunt, everyone that played a role in executing, my cousins, just like the best wedding ever. Y'all the real ones. Y'all deserve the shout out this week, okay? So I just want to say thank you to all of the people that worked tirelessly, that overworked, overspent, and just poured out into Malik and myself for our very special day. So thank you all so much. Man, and even for the folks that have been praying for us, folks have been sending me messages on Instagram, Facebook, letters. Goodness gracious, I'm just so overwhelmed with so much love that I didn't even know that I had. And so it's just great feelings. I'm still high on life and that's where I want to be for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to thank all of my friends and family for supporting this union, this covenant in marriage. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into the story time. So Malik and I got married on Tuesday, May 25th. Kendra, you got married on Tuesday? Yes, she did. Okay. May 25th is significant to Malik and I. That is the day that we got together, and we're inseparable 4 years ago. And that is a date that we wanted just to keep, because it's special. It landed on a Tuesday. We were trying to make it on a weekend to be convenient for our guests, but we thought about how it's that specific date is special to us. And so it shouldn't have been compromised for other people's convenience. So we was like, you know what? We're going to do it on this day. Whoever is willing to take off work, to adjust their schedules, to be there, to log in on Facebook, or even just be there in person, are folks that really, rock with us, right? So we got married on May 25th, and it did not feel like a Tuesday. Sometimes we get stuck in the monotony of a schedule, and like we dread Mondays sometimes. We're super excited for Fridays. Saturday and Sunday we partying, and then it's a cycle. But to me, it honestly felt like a Sunday morning. Like, it was so special, so unique, and it was incredibly memorable. So we got married on a Tuesday, and it was literally just a day of peace. I didn't wake up crazy, and I'm gonna pat myself on my own back, because I was not a bridezilla. Okay, shout out to me, because I felt like I was so just cool and go with the flow kind of thing. And so the day of, brides are usually like all over the place, nervous, but I was just chilling. I was definitely just chilling. The people that I had around me the day of my wedding was my bridesmaids, my mom, and even like the makeup artist. Like, everyone, what I appreciate God doing is putting everyone on the same page, everyone on the same accord. And I had not a problem out of my bride squad. They were the most helpful, attentive, gracious. Like, I'm on it, Kendra, whatever you need to be done. Because on the day of, y'all, To be 100 with you, there are about 11,000 things that you done forgot to do, but you need it done in 4 hours. Those ladies was running. I had one of my good girlfriends. She came over and cooked breakfast hot off the stove for us. It was just, we sat and we laughed and we enjoyed one another. Makeup artists, hairstylists included, like everyone was just vibing on such a great morning in preparation for a great day. Now, you want to know about what I wore? I can't wait till these pictures come in so I can post them. Okay. So, funny story. I'm looking for my shoes for the wedding, right? And I have no idea what I'm going to wear. And I think it's like maybe 2 weeks out before the wedding. And there is this dear sister from my church, close family friend. She texted me and she doesn't know, like, I'm freaking out in this moment about what shoes am I going to wear. I want like fabulous shoes, but I can't find anything that fits, right? Or anything that I like. And she texts me and she's like, you know what? I want to bless you with your choice of shoes. And I must have dropped my phone. I was like, what? So we go shopping and she buys me these cute Jimmy Choos. Y'all, I was like, this is it. So I had the shoes of my dream for my wedding. And what was more special about my look, besides the accessories, my dress, y'all. I need a pause. Give me a moment. My mother, my sweet, loving, hardworking, selfless mother made my wedding gown. And it was the most beautiful dress that I ever put on. It was a sweetheart neckline, mermaid style. Y'all, I cannot wait to share these pictures. And she made it for months and months. She worked tedious with the beading and making sure that it lays on me right. And to be completely honest, these wedding dresses, these folks be trying to get you, okay? A wedding dress will cost starting at $2,500, $2,500. That's just the bare basics. Now, if you want something elaborate, because I'm just, that's me, you looking about $3,000-$4,000 minus the altercations. I got a custom made wedding gown from my mother and did not have to spend a rack or more on it. So I was just so appreciative, and the love that went into the dress was just, I could feel it. I could definitely feel it. Just what an amazing day. What an amazing time to get ready. And so we're getting ready and stuff, and I can see my bridesmaids and they're praying and they're interceding for me as we're getting ready. And I promise y'all, like, I don't know what had happened. I don't know what happens to me. But I feel like I lost my gangster. Like, I cried about 9 times during the day, and I just couldn't stop crying. And it wasn't because I was nervous, but because I felt God's glory and I felt God's presence, and I felt him breathing and his approval. And just, I just felt his presence throughout the entire day. And I thought to myself, God, thank you so much for allowing Malik and I to share a type of glory that reflects you as the bridegroom and us, the church, as your bride. And so, y'all, my makeup artist was like, Kendra, I need you to get all these tears out before I beat your face. And I was toe up before. But let us fast forward to the ceremony, shall we? So I get to the ceremony and I'm super, super excited. And I hear the music playing. We have this live band because I married a musician. He was heckin' not finna have no track playing, please. He was like, we having a band. So I hear the music And my mother and my father walked me down the aisle together. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. I was not nervous, y'all. The whole process of proposal, engagement, getting married, I was not nervous. I was ready. Okay, ready. People always asking, Kendra, are you nervous? Absolutely not. Let's do this. So I'm at the door, and I'm about to walk down the aisle. And so as I'm walking down the aisle, I see the band and people are turning towards me. And I get to the middle aisle and I see him directly down. And I thought to myself, this is about to happen. We are here. He showed up. I showed up. We about to do this. And so I get down to the aisle and I look at him. He looks at me. And I'm just crying still because I cried the whole day. And it was just a moment that we were beholding together, right? So there were a couple of things that we did during the ceremony. One of them being a braiding portion. It was like a braiding ceremony within the ceremony. And it was the 3-stranded cord. And so there was one cord that was purple, the other one was white, and then the third one was gold. The purple represented God, the white represented me, the wife, and the gold represented the husband. And I want to really explain and share the significance of the braiding ceremony for our wedding. A reoccurring theme in what the Lord has shown us through our engagement was how important it is for us to be tied in with God, right? So I'm going to read Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. And it reads, 2 are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity to anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But who keeps warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So that scripture was read, and he held the ring of the cords, and I braided the cords together. And that was representation of the husband, the wife, and God being braided together, because the scripture says that a 3-stranded cord is not easily broken. And so that representation was absolutely important for us to do at the ceremony and also to remember in the marriage, because the wedding and marriage are 2 different things. We'll have an episode on that coming soon. So that was one of the many significant parts of the ceremony. The second, we had a family member pray over us. And y'all, the prayer was so powerful. I just felt the love and the support and just God's presence. It was just at that place in that moment. The prayer broke me down again. I was like, okay, my lash is about to fall off. But it was just so powerful. It was so potent. It was so genuine that as he was praying, I could literally see things happening in our future, things that God is going to do through our marriage as he was praying, things I didn't even think of, but God showed me as this particular family member was praying over us. Look, I need to take my time, y'all, because I feel like I'm about to bust out crying now. But after the prayer, we were able to exchange personal vows. Where my vows at? So I put my vows in this cute little book. I just absolutely love it. And I worked on my vows for about a week, and I shared them with him. And once we release the video, you'll all be able to hear what I said to him. But y'all, um, Malik's vows were the highlight of the ceremony. If you ask anybody in attendance, anybody who's seen the video, those vows were, oh my gosh, I really want to like take them and read them to y'all. I might have to have him on to share what he said, but it was incredible, the promises that he made. And he told me after the wedding that he had been preparing his vows for me since we met. And so from 2017 to now 2021, he's taken notes of things that he wants to do and the promises that he wanted to make to me as his wife. And I heard them, and I was like, you said you want to do that? You want to do that? And it was just so enlightening. It was so refreshing. And I was super excited to start living that. The vows that we made to each other were promises, not just only in the good times, but when things are challenging. The vows that we made to each other were a part of our covenant that we made before God, our promise before God and witnesses. Marriage is not for the look. It is not for Instagram. It's not to say I have somebody and you don't. But life brings a lot of ups and downs. And someone shared with me, I asked, like, how is it being married? And they said that this is the best roller coaster I've ever been on. And our vows, I pray, holds us and cradles us through the best roller coaster of our lives. All in all, the ceremony was absolutely beautiful. God was glorified, and just to have the opportunity and the privilege to be married as a reflection of our relationship with Christ. There is no feeling like it. There is no feeling like it. Whew. Okay, need a breath. I need a breath, y'all. Give me a moment. But so after this beautiful ceremony, we get to the reception and it's time to party. Y'all, look. So we had such a great time. It was a small wedding, but it was lit. Like for me, it really just was. I was talking to a couple of my bridesmaids and even a few guests after the wedding, and everyone enjoyed the parent dancing. So, like even our wedding day of coordinator, when Malik danced with his mother, they danced to Mama, Mama, you know I love you. What is that Boys to Men that Boys to Men song? Y'all know what song I'm talking about. So they danced to that song, and the way he held his mother close to him. Our day of coordinator, she told me after the ceremony, she said, I had to leave the room and call my husband. And I was crying hysterically. And I was like, what? She was so blessed and touched by that dance. And even we were able to, he was able to give a tribute to the passing of his grandfather. His grandfather was a pillar in their family. And he created this song and danced with his grandmother as a tribute to his grandfather. And it was so beautiful. It was a surprise to her, a gift to her. And so I just love how not only our wedding was about us, but our wedding was about honoring other people. What was the next dance? We was just dancing all night long, y'all. My father-daughter, there we go, father-daughter dance. We danced to the Luther Vandross song, and that spoke about if I could dance with my father again. And it was just so beautiful because, ladies, when you think of your wedding, you think of that moment of dancing with your father. And for those that don't know, my father has been ill for the past couple of years. And physically, he isn't as strong as he was before. So, him being able to gather what strength he had to share that moment with me was absolutely unforgettable. Absolutely unforgettable. Now, y'all know I did not leave Mother Mary out. Me and my mom also did a mother-daughter dance because my mom, it's like for us, we did it really non-traditional. We added a couple of dances that aren't traditionally done. But to be honest, like there was no way I could have left my mom out of it. She's my mom. She has worked hard for me since the day I got here and even before that. And throughout this wedding, she worked tirelessly. And so it was a time for us to celebrate. And y'all, we didn't do no slow rock. We had Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. We had My Girl by the Temptations. We had I Always Love My Mama. Like we did a master wicka, a master mix, okay? And if you know my mom or have seen her in action, she is the life of the party, okay? We were just dancing and having fun. Next thing I know, she dancing around the doggone reception hall. And I'm like, Mother, I need you to bring it back. Bring it back. She's so funny. And she just had such a great time. But that was our wedding. That was literally our wedding. It was moments of crying, tears of joy, of sharing, of laughter, of dancing, of celebration. And even after, what I really count as a blessing, even after the reception, our DJ came up to my husband and I and said, you know what? This wedding restored my faith. He said, I had a rough week. And after serving with you all, my faith has been restored. And I wanted to take a victory lap, but my feet was hurting. But that is just like that man don't know us. And even our day of coordinator, she said her sentiments were along the same lines of just feeling God's presence, of just it being a heartfelt space. And I said, God, I don't know these people and they don't know us. But the fact that they can feel your presence, the fact that you can do a work in them within the wedding ceremony and reception, like, I just know that God is going to bless. And I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited to see what comes. I'm so excited to grow, to learn what it is to be a wife, to learn new levels of dedication and faithfulness, and just sharing what I learned with you all on my journey. It has been a journey and I cannot wait to continue in it. So that is a little review or a short synopsis of what happened on our wedding day, May 25th. I can't wait to see these pictures. I can't wait till the video come out. I'll be able to share that with you all, so you can get just a little taste of what happened. But until next time, I do want to close out in prayer as we always do. So with all hearts and minds clear, Father God, I just thank you so much for who you are. I thank you for everything that you have done and what you are doing. God, I thank you for your love and your kindness and extending yourself. I thank you for your presence and your faithfulness and never leaving us. God, I pray over my marriage and for those that have gotten married in this past year, God, that you cover us, that you cover the union and the covenant that we made to honor you. God, I pray that in challenging times that we seek you, even in the best of times that we seek you. And God, I pray that for those that have a heart and a desire to be married, that you help them maintain in their singleness until you bless them with their spouse. God, I pray that you speak to them and grow them and mature them until you say it is their time to be married. God, I pray that you encourage all of our hearts, that you be blessed and be glorified. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all, that is the word on the street for this week. If you have any questions about the wedding, anything that you didn't think that I touched on, head on over to www.unassociated.com/. Ask Kendra, and you can submit questions about the wedding, or if you have any other topics of discussion that you want to hear or have questions that you want answered in this space, head on over to www.unassociated.com/ask Kendra, and I will be so happy to engage in those questions. If you want to keep up with your girl, you can follow me on Instagram at _Kreate with Kendra. That is Kreate with a K. All right, y'all. Until next time, beautiful people, be blessed.